Hi guys, my name is Andy Nguyen. I will be presenting my critical assignment on athletic training and the ethics and leadership that goes on within that profession. So why athletic training? Athletic training is a people-first profession that falls under one of the branches of healthcare. They are specialists in examination, treatment, rehabilitation, and diagnosis of musculoskeletal injuries or other medical conditions. And I believe I resonate with that as I love being or enjoy being an integral part of someone's recovery process and getting them back to the level they need to be, and even more just improving their quality of life for the long term. And I feel like I get that from my mother, as she's been practicing as a nurse for 38 years, I want to say. And she taught me how to be compassionate, loving, and caring. And she emphasized that there's always going to be someone else in a worse position than I am, and that it should be within me to improve or want to improve their day however I can, or just overall life. I'm a huge fan of competition and spectating high-level talent, and my personal favorite is the NBA. I love watching basketball, high-level talent. It's insane. And that healthcare and sports kind of go hand in hand. I get to work on the sidelines, get a nice front court view, while also attending to the players that need me. And like other kinesiology majors or kinesiologists, I believe in that physical activity is an integral part of someone's overall well-being and improving their quality of life. So the leadership style I chose to employ for this assignment is transformational leadership. And transformational leadership is a leadership style that inspires followers through cooperation and empowerment to produce extraordinary outcomes. This leadership style places an emphasis on the relationship factor between the leader and the follower, in which the leader tries to motivate and inspire their followers by transforming their beliefs, values, and attitudes to align it with the organization, therefore promoting organizational change or whatever their organization is trying to accomplish. They will get an increased effort if their employees are given a sense of purpose and autonomy within the company. With that being said, it increases job satisfaction, job engagement, and like I said, a sense of purpose and increased employee work team performance. It consists of 4 dimensions. The first one is Idealized Influence, and this refers to the leaders exhibiting characteristics and behaviors that successful transformational leaders should consist of. And when the leaders or the followers look up to them, they are influenced and inspired by them to emulate these same behaviors. Inspirational Motivation refers to the challenges and expectations that leaders set for their followers, in which they try to encourage and empower them to really meet those expectations while also providing support along the way. And this can come from assigning tasks in which the followers feel responsible for meeting. Intellectual stimulation is the leader's ability to spark creativity and autonomy within their followers, as they need to provide a safe space for sharing ideas in which the followers are able to express it and give their input and feedback. And individualized consideration, the last one, refers to the leader's ability to cater to each of their followers' needs, and knowing how to develop and further get more productivity out of them by catering to them and listening to them and all that. Okay, and then here are some strategies that transformational leaders will utilize. And first one is fostering a positive work environment. Like I mentioned before, this is so their followers are encouraged and feel safe to share their ideas and put their input without being criticized harshly. And Stone describes a positive work environment as workers and managers being able to collaborate to continually improve and protect the health and safety of all their workers, while also the sustainability of the workplace. And with that increases production from the employees, and employees are more satisfied with their jobs, and therefore reducing burnout and stress. And then athletic trainers can utilize the NCAA's Office of Inclusion or the NETA's Ethnic Diversity Advisory Committee, so these two websites often post resources about how to promote a safe environment, an inclusive and diverse environment, being open to all that. And a lot of these athletic training rooms will incorporate a zero tolerance policy for bullying, harassment, discrimination, all that against, the LGBTQ community, other ethnic or minority populations and such. And the other strategy is effective communication, and Hazel Baker describes this as the leader's ability to establish and maintain relationships and to facilitate constructive interactions with individuals and groups. And transformational leaders have to have good communication skills if they want to motivate and inspire their followers. And they must possess strong communication skills and must be very articulate in the way they are handling their verbal and written communications, while also being active listeners and available and present for communication. Okay, so here are potential ethical dilemmas that athletic trainers may face within their career. The first one is a conflict of interest. This scenario is a star basketball player has recently sustained a knee injury during the middle of the season, and the athlete is given a choice of whether or not to either sit out and rehabilitate or utilize corticosteroid injections to finish out the season. The head coach insists that the player should go for the injections to help boost their chances of making playoffs. However, that long-term rehabilitation would be more beneficial to their overall health. What do you do? Athletic trainers' primary responsibility, or the sports medicine team's primary responsibility, is to get their athletes back to competition as soon as possible and as safe as possible. However, conflicting interests may arise from stakeholders, head coaches, and other people, teammates, even the player themselves, parents, how they should go about their treatment. But it is important that the sports medicine team should not be influenced by external factors, and they should allow the athlete to make their own decision, in which the team physician and the AT would provide informed consent and full disclosure of the possible risks and benefits that would go with each route, and let them have the autonomy to decide what they want to do with their treatment. And the second issue revolves around confidentiality, in which this is regarding to privacy of medical history. But in this situation, a highly sought after high school quarterback recruit reveals to the team physician that he has sustained multiple concussions throughout his high school career. He asks to withhold this information in fear of jeopardizing his college football career and potential scholarships from major universities. The athlete also mentions that their scholarship offers are the only way they would be able to attend college. What do you do? Typically, healthcare professionals owe the duty of privacy to their patients who are in their medical records. However, in sports, it's a little different because there's a lot of the stakes involved in the investment, in which organizations should have the right to ask about a certain player's medical history as long as it's related to their performance. And in this situation, the AT or the physician should, before examining or doing any kind of procedures on the athlete, they should fully explain and clarify that they are not their private, personal, primary physician, and rather they're employed by the organization. They also owe a duty to them, and it's not confidentiality is not guaranteed. And then here are my references to leadership from the Bible. The first one comes from Philippians 2, verse 3 and 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. And this verse reminds me daily of how I must prioritize the needs and interests of my patients above my own, as they'll come to me for a need, whether it be just a general question or injuries, and they had come to me for my services and helping them get better. Healthcare needs to be individualized and unique to each patient, as they need to cater to their, like I said before, best interests and needs. And the second one comes from John 13, verses 12 through 15. When he had washed their feet and put on his outer garments and resumed his place, he said to them, Do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you should do just as I have done to you. And this verse teaches a lesson about leading by example. And the Lord sets an example. He educates his follower and expects him to do the same and better those around him. And as healthcare professionals, we are well equipped with academia, past experiences. We are equipped with all these skills that we know can improve someone else's quality of life, and we know for a fact there's a lot of people around us in need, and they always come to us. But we have to utilize our skills to better our own community. And then here are my references, and thank you guys for watching.